Bismillah Rahman Rahim. Welcome to Apex Academics, ladies and gentlemen. Our journey for CMA has begun at this very instant. The plan is very, very simple. We are going to dedicate 2 to 3 lectures for each unit, and we are going to cover the exam support package, and we are going to tie up your concepts with your various MCQs. So we learn a concept, we go and do the MCQ. We learn a concept, we go and do the MCQ. Then we try to apply it across various more and more MCQs as I deem fit. Until you tell me that now this is done, we are experts at this particular concept. We have got the whole month of August to work on this together. As per my advice, you are going to appear for this examination in October for the ones appearing in October, and for the rest of you, you are probably going to go on for the January, February exam window. Fair point. But our objective is that August and the first couple of days of September, we have to do thorough revision together. What will happen after your thorough revision? Will I leave you? Not possible. After your thorough revision is done, there will be an availability for each and every one of you appearing in October to appear for 4 mock CMA exams before you go for the real CMA exam. So there is no way in hell that I will allow any one of your money to get wasted. There will be a mock with 100 MCQs as is there in exam scenario, and there will be essay type questions, and it will be in a perfectly induced exam way where if you are not passing 50 MCQs, you will not be able to go through towards the next part. Within 2 or 3 days, your result for those mocks will come out to you. So before the D-day of the examination arrives, you will have passed, by grace of God, the CMA exam 4 times before you go for the main CMA exam. So the main CMA exam is going to be a cakewalk for you guys, right? That is what I'm going to ensure that we do, right? Now, the first module that we have to discuss, is that of cost management. Cost management in itself first entails of understanding various types of cost. Somebody may ask me a question. What study material are we using? Are we using Sargent? Are we using Becker? Are we using Gleim? Are we using Hawk? We are using all of it. We are understanding the concept. The concept cannot change from one study material to another study material. Ye likh ke lo. If this is a pink bottle, it is a pink bottle in whichever book you read. Otherwise, the book is wrong. Please understand. This is a pink bottle, it's a pink bottle. Right? It's as simple as that. So, we go concept-wise, tie it up to the CMA question bank, which is issued by the CMA body, which is the person giving you the degree, not some private publication. Be warned about this. Apex Academics is not a business to sell you a study material. It's an organization to get you a degree. That's what we are, right? So understanding various types of cost. Please understand one thing. Anything that you see around you today, any product, any commodity, it might be a stapler, it might be a calculator, it might be a mobile phone, it can be my beads of prayer, it can be anything. There is a cost incurred by the manufacturer to make it. Please understand this much. There is a cost that is incurred by the manufacturer to make it. But every manufacturer has the right to understand the nature of those costs. As qualified CMAs, you are going to ensure that your organization, that your corporation has got a complete control over the nature, type, and impact that each cost carries with it. The first type of cost is that cost that increases with an increase in the units produced. A cost that increases with an increase in the units produced. Now, a few days ago, I was reading a book. I still am. I'm reading this very nice book. It's a book by Maulana Rumi. Very nice book. Everybody should read it. Beautiful short stories. A good way to pass your time when you're, sitting alone. It's a good way to pass your time. So wonderful book to read. So I was thinking about this book before I started this CMA lecture. So I looked at this book and I said, what does this book comprise of? My brains told me that this book comprises of 3 to 4 items. This book comprises of 3 to 4 items. And what are those 3 to 4 items? Understand one thing. First item is Rumi's stories. Second item is the book itself, which is paper. That's it. Because it is paper, it has printed ink on it. It has printed ink on it. Please understand. As far as Rumi stories go, there will be some organization somewhere that claims a royalty for the same. Then the more the number of books, the more the paper, the more the ink. Very easy, very simple. I want 5 books. I need if one book has 100 pages, for 5 books, I need 500 pages. For 10 books, I need 1000 pages. For 100 books, I need 10,000 pages, so on and so forth. As the number of books will increase, the amount of paper that I will require will increase. The ink that I need to print it will increase. But the organization that is charging a royalty, let us assume that it says, I don't care whether you sell 1 book, or you sell 10 books, or you sell 10,000 books, or you sell 1,000,000 books. We want a fixed royalty. Let's assume that they are on a fixed royalty, not a variable royalty. I'll come to that later on. They claim a royalty for the same. Let's say it is a fixed amount. Let's say it is a fixed amount of dollars, 1 million. You sell 1 book or you sell 1,000,000 books, I don't care. The organization that has got the rights to Rumi's intellectual work says that we want a royalty of $1 million. Fair enough. Fair enough. As the number of books rise, the cost of paper rises. The cost of paper rises. Such a cost is called as a variable cost. Such a cost is called as a variable cost. Why is it called as variable cost? You need to understand this concept next. Please understand one thing. As the units increase, if the cost increases, the cost in itself is incremental in nature. The cost in itself is incremental in nature. What is the meaning of that? For each additional unit, there will be an additional cost. What will there be? There will be an additional cost. So, if I was to think about a popcorn seller, if I was to think about an ice cream cone manufacturer, the more the number of cones that he makes, the more is the cost that he will incur on the cone. It's as simple as that. Take my example. Suppose you join Apex today. Right? I have 1 student. I have to give 1 student notes, textbook notes, that is. There are 2 students. I have to give them both notes. Let's say that 1 copy of the book costs me 1,000 rupees to print and bind. So for 2 copies, it will cost me 2,000. For 3 copies, it will cost me 3,000. For 4 copies, it will cost me 4,000. For 5 copies, 5,000. So on and so forth. I will incur a cost on printing the book. That cost, that stays. cost that stays fixed per unit manufactured and that is variable on a total basis is called a variable cost. My dear friends, let us assume that I have 10 students and it takes me 1,000 rupees per copy. So for 10 students, I will incur 10,000 rupees on note printing. Let's say I have 15 students. Now it will become 1,000 into 15, that is 15,000. The 1,000 per unit has stayed constant. The 1,000 per unit has stayed constant. There is no change in that whatsoever. There is no change in that whatsoever. Please understand this concept. Now, let us say that I have 10 students. Let us say that I have 10 students. I have 20 students. I have 50 students. I have 100 students. And I have one student. For the notes, at the rate of 1,000 per unit, I will incur 10,000, 20,000, 50,000, 100,000, and 1,000 at the rate of 1,000 per unit. What stays fixed? Rate of rupees 1,000 per unit stays fixed. Let's talk about rent. I have to take a classroom on rent, a classroom that can accommodate 100 students. My classroom can accommodate 100 students. My classroom can accommodate 100 students. My classroom can accommodate 100 students. Please understand this concept. My classroom can accommodate 100 students. Now, if there are 10 students, the landlord will still charge me the rent, which is, let's say, 30,000 per month. So we will not take per month rent. We'll just write down 30,000. Whether I have 20 students, he will still take 30,000 rent. I have 50, he will still take 30,000. I have 100, he'll still take 30,000. Or if I have one, he'll still take 30,000. So this is rent on a total basis. But what is my rent that I recover per student? Well, the concept is simple. It will be 30,000 divided by 10, which is how much? 3,000. 30,000 divided by 20, which is how much? 1,500. Then it is 30,000 divided by 50, which is 600. 30,000 divided by 100, which is 300. 30,000 divided by 1, which is 30,000. Please note one thing. It is variable on a per student basis. Student for me is the unit that I produce. So it is variable on a unit basis. And it is fixed on an overall basis. It is fixed on an overall basis. It is fixed on an overall basis. You need to understand this concept very, very clearly. My dear friends, a cost that is fixed on a per unit basis, a cost that is fixed on a per unit basis, and a cost that is variable on an overall basis, and a cost that is fixed on a total basis, and a cost that is variable on a per unit basis are different from each other. A cost that is fixed on a per unit basis, but it is variable on a total basis is called a variable cost. A cost that is fixed on a total basis, but it is variable on a per unit basis, it is called as a fixed cost. It is called as a fixed cost. This right here are two classifications of cost, based on the behavior of the cost. Now comes the third classification. Please pay attention. Very, very careful. Let us say that I have 10,000 units. And the cost, the total cost of these units is 55,000. Let us say that I have 20,000 units. Let us say that I have 20,000 units. The cost for these 20,000 units is 1,05,000. How much it is? It is 1,05,000. Now, let us see. Now, let's say I have 30,000 units. Let us say I have 30,000 units. And the cost for this is 1,55,000. What is the cost for this? 1,55,000. If the cost is fixed on total basis, it is a fixed cost, which is not the case. It is not fixed on a total basis. It is not fixed on a total basis. Why? Because on a total basis, it changes from 55 to 105 to 155. Okay. If the cost is same or fixed on a unit basis, it is a variable cost. In the first case, it is 55,000 divided by 10,000. How much does it get to? 55,000 divided by 10,000. It comes to 5.5. Second case, it is 1,05,000 divided by how much? By 20,000. 1,05,000 divided by 20,000. It comes to 5.25. It comes to what? It comes to 5.25. It comes to what? It comes to 5.25. It comes to 5.25. Are you with me on that? Are you with me on that? Yes or no? Yeah?
Yes, sir.
Next, if it comes to 1,55,000 divided by 30,000, if it comes to 1,55,000 divided by 30,000, it comes to 5.167. Is it fixed on a unit basis? Is it fixed on a unit basis? It is not fixed on a unit basis. Neither it is fixed on a total basis. If this is the case, it is a semi-variable cost. It is a semi-variable cost. It has both fixed as well as variable aspects attached to it. It has fixed as well as variable aspects attached to it. Please keep that much in mind. Please keep that much in mind. Now, take a look at how to calculate. Take low unit and low cost. Take high unit and high cost. Focus. High cost minus, write it like this. High cost minus low cost upon high unit minus low unit. What do we get? 155 minus 55 divided by 30 minus 10. This gives you the answer as 5. This is variable cost per unit. What is this? This is variable cost per unit. How did I calculate the variable cost per unit? I took the high cost, I took the high cost, I took the low cost. I took the high unit, I took the low unit, and I made up a formula: high cost, right, minus low cost divided by high unit minus low unit. And I got 5 per unit. I got how much? 5 per unit. Now for 10,000 units, if the variable cost is 5 per unit, the total variable cost is 50,000. And the fixed cost obviously is then 5,000, making the total cost 55,000, which is the semi-variable cost, which has elements of both fixed as well as variable attached to it. Now look at 20,000. Do 20,000 into 5 per unit, you will get 100,000. 100,000 plus 5,000, it will give you 1,05,000. 30,000 multiplied by 5 per unit is 150,000 plus 5,000, it will give you 155,000. Are you with me on that? I hope you are. This is how you have to calculate variable cost splits, or I would rather say variable cost per unit by using high-low method. On the basis of this concept that I have discussed with you, there are various MCQs in the first part of your examination kit. On the first part of your examination kit, this is your first concept that you have to revise. Now, how do you make best use of these videos? Understand and write down somewhere in your notebook that concept number 1 is cost classification by behavior. It is cost classification by behavior. For that, you will watch the first 25 minutes of video number 1. It will be christened in a proper way, don't worry, and you will get the name of the video. You will watch the first 25 minutes of it, and then we jump to MCQs. So when you are revising at home, at your place, when you are revising, at 2x speed, you will watch the first 25 minutes, means in about 10 to 12 minutes, you will finish watching it. Then you will go to MCQs. The exam support package MCQs are there. You will solve those MCQs on your own. You will solve the exam support package MCQs on your own. If you have a doubt, you will go to the video, you will watch the sum being solved by me, and you will do it on your own. Are you understanding what I'm trying to say? These lectures are meant to give you complete independence for the purposes of your examination. I hope that point is clear to you. I hope that point is clear to you. Now, I'm not going to waste any more time in any conceptual explanation. I'm going to straight away jump into your exam support package. This is your exam support package. Exam support package are those questions that have been given to you by CMA body. They are important questions. They cover all concepts in your chapter, in your syllabus. Do the exam support package 2 times along with any other publication that you have subscribed to wherever you are learning your CMA. I guarantee you that with that, you will be in a good position. Imagine you are doing the exam support package 2 times, and then you are going through your materials, and then you are giving 4 mock exams with me. Don't you think you will pass? I have every reason in the world to believe that you will pass. I hope you're with me in that. I hope you're with me in that. I believe you will pass. So you should believe you will pass. Very, very simple. Question number 1. Manchester Airlines. Manchester Airlines is in the process of preparing a contribution margin income statement that will allow a detailed look at its variable costs and profitability of operations. Which one of the following cost combinations should be used to evaluate variable cost per flight of the company's Boston-Las Vegas flights? They are asking you which one of this is variable. They are asking you that question. I don't care which one is variable. I don't care which one is fixed. I don't care which one is semi-variable. My job is to brand each one for which it is. And they have to ask you, they are asking you, there is going to be one option over here in which all are variable. In which all are variable. You have to identify that option. That's the answer to your question. I am going to brand the costs. Understand one thing. Salary of flight crew. It is fixed on a monthly basis. It is a fixed cost. It is a fixed cost. Fuel. More the number of flights, more the number of fuel. It is absolutely a variable cost. Engine maintenance. Doesn't matter. It is a fixed monthly fee that you have to pay either to your technician or to the maintenance company with whom you have got a contract for maintaining your machine, your engine machine. This is again fixed. Fuel, variable. Food service, variable. Airport landing fee, variable. Why? Fuel, more flights, more fuel. Higher number of flights, higher cost of fuel. Food service. What are food services? In airlines, generally, the food that you have on the flight is chargeable. How? They factor it into the cost of the ticket. So, obviously, if they have got to serve food to 20 people, an order is placed for 20 pre-packaged cartons of food. They come to you and they have to pay for that much. So, if an order is placed for 30, they have to bear it for 30, for 50, for 50. It depends on the number of passengers placing an order for food on their flight. Airport landing fees. What are airport landing fees? You have to pay a particular amount of charges to every airport every time you land. So every time a flight lands, you have to pay the landing fees. So more the number of flights in the air, more the number of landing fees that you have. It can't be fixed. It has to be variable. Because say I'm landing 5 times at Heathrow, I have to pay landing fees whatever into 5. If suppose they're 100 pounds, I have to pay 500 pounds. Every time I land on JFK, I have to pay landing fees. Every time I land on Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj International Airport, I have to pay that much. Every time I land on Indira Gandhi International Airport, I have to pay that much. Please understand that. Please understand that. So airport landing fees are variable. Airplane depreciation, variable. It is a cost that is allocated over the life. Baggage handling. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. It is fixed. Airline depreciation is fixed. Slip of tongue. It is a fixed cost. Why? It is a cost that has been allocated over the life. It is a cost that has been allocated over the life. Generally, for aeroplanes, it is on a straight line basis. Generally, for aeroplanes, it is on a straight line basis. But remember, depreciation can be on reducing balance basis too, where then it will be variable. Where then it will be variable. So airplane depreciation, I am taking it as fixed on the assumption that it is straight line method. If you are saying it is WDV method, you can take it as variable. Depreciation, I said, baggage handling. You have to pay the porter a certain amount of money. You have to pay the porter a certain amount of money. Where it could be fixed, it could be variable. Clarity is not there. A porter can be hired on a per bag basis also, number of bags you handle, or he will be given a salary on a per flight basis, number of flights you handle, or he will be given salary on a monthly basis that for each month I'll pay you 20,000 rupees. Please come here, work for me. I'll pay you 10,000 rupees. I'll pay you 5,000 rupees. I'll pay you X thousand rupees. The amount is fixed. He can't cry, Arey, I have to handle these many bags. No, it's agreed. Those many bags, get in, handle those many bags, finished. Baggage handling generally tending to be fixed. Airline marketing, cost of marketing, fixed cost. Communication system operation, fixed. It takes you that much money to operate your communication system. Food service, variable. Ramp personnel. Ramp personnel are your purser and the stewardess. Are your purser, the steward and the stewardess, the air hostess as we call them. They have their fixed salary. They have their fixed salary. So again, this is fixed. They are asking you which one of the following is a completely variable option. Your answer is option number B. I hope this gives you ample clarity. I hope this gives you ample clarity. Question number 2. Which one of the following is not considered to be a manufacturing cost? Which one of the following is not considered to be a manufacturing cost? Very, very interesting question. Very, very interesting question. Not because of the fact that it is an easy question. It can be easy, that is okay. But this brings me to an important discussion that I need to have with you. And that important discussion is known as cost sheet. And that important discussion is known as cost sheet. Please pay attention. Please pay attention. Please pay attention to what I have to say. Now, cost data is arranged in a particular format, and that particular format is called as a cost sheet. That particular format is called as a cost sheet. Now, please understand, the cost sheet presents items of cost in an itemized manner, whereby they are separated by their behavior depending on the philosophy of costing that we go by. The cost sheet that I am going to speak about is based on absorption costing. Is based on what? Absorption costing. What is absorption costing? Absorption costing is a method wherein both fixed and variable overheads and costs are considered to be cost of production. So in simple terms, cost of production will include variable as well as fixed. Variable as well as fixed. On the other hand, there is another basis of costing called as marginal costing. Marginal costing considers only the variable costs as costs of production. It considers only the variable costs as costs of production. Right now, I'm going to be discussing the format of the cost sheet. Then I'll do a couple of questions. Then I'll come back again to my comparison. Please focus and pay attention. The first item of a cost sheet begins with raw materials, also called as raw materials consumed, which is branded by the American world as direct materials. We Indians call it raw materials consumed. Second, or rather we will not say second. Let us write it as ABCD. Let us write it as ABCD. Direct labor. What is direct labor? I'll come to it. Raw materials consumed plus direct labor give you something known as prime cost. As per Indian cost accounting standards, direct material plus direct labor plus direct expenses gives you prime cost. As per Indian cost accounting standard, direct material plus direct labor plus direct expenses gives you prime cost. Nothing wrong in the way the Americans are doing it. It's absolutely okay. To this, I add manufacturing overheads. These can be variable as well as fixed. You need to understand that raw materials are a variable cost. More the materials, more the production, more the material, more the production, more the labor. So labor is also a variable cost. Manufacturing overheads can be fixed as well as variable. For an example of variable, I can say indirect material. For fixed, I can say factory rent. I can say factory property taxes. I can say plant and machinery depreciation. There are so
Income
many
tax.
examples. I can say plant manager's salary.
Income tax.
Income tax, no, not really. No, not really. No, not really. Income tax is not considered in a cost sheet. It is considered to be the financial cost. It is a part of your financial statements, not considered as a part of costing. Because the cost of the product does not get impacted with the income tax that you are paying. It is impacted by, of course, items like indirect taxes such as excise, etc. But there is a huge debate where people say that then you must consider excise, etc. for the purposes of manufacturing. I don't want to get into that debate. I just want to clarify that income tax will not come here for the purposes of your CMA exams. This is only focused on your CMA exams. This will not come, in income tax will not come for your CMA exam. Keep that much in mind. Keep that much in mind, right? So these are your manufacturing overheads. Now, focus. Focus. Prime cost plus all of this gives you something known as, all these guys, they are added together. This gives you something known as works cost. What does this give you? This gives you something known as works cost. Works cost, you add opening WIP, you subtract closing WIP. What you get after you do that is called cost of production. It's called cost of production. So just allow me to write this in a more, I will say, legible manner, because I'm running out of place on your page. So I'll just write it in a smaller sized handwriting. Add opening WIP less closing WIP. What do you get? What you will get here is cost of production. Add, what do you add over here? You add opening finished goods and you subtract closing finished goods. What will you get over here? You will get cost of goods sold. What will you get? You will get cost of goods sold. My dear friends, every item that is included in the cost of production, it is called as a product cost. Irrespective of whether it is fixed or variable, it is a production cost under absorption costing. Under what? Under absorption costing. Under what? Under absorption costing. I hope this is clear. I hope this is clear. It is referred to as a product cost if it is a part of cost of production, irrespective of whether it is fixed or variable, under absorption costing. Under what? Under absorption costing. So all the costs that are added to COGS later on, everything after COGS, Everything after COGS is called a period cost. Everything after COGS is a period cost. I hope this is clear for all of you. I would request that you take a screenshot of this. Of course, it will be available for you on YouTube. Take a screenshot quickly while I count to 3 in my head. 1, 2, 3. I am rubbing this off to give you a thorough example. Now, let us take into consideration again this book by Rumi. Let us take into consideration again this book by Rumi. Let's take a look at this book. Take a look at this book. You can see it on the camera. Take a look at this book. Fair enough. Everybody has seen the book. Everybody has seen the book. Right. What do I say about this book? This book required a royalty to be paid to the organization that has the copyrights of Rumi's stories. Right? It has paper. It has ink. After the two of this, is the book ready? Is the book ready? The answer is yes. What are both of these? These are product costs under absorption costing. What are these? These are product costs under absorption costing. I hope this is absolutely clear as far as you are concerned. Next. Shipping the book to customer. Is this cost needed to make the book? That's my question.
Indirect.
Correct. It's not, you can't say it's indirect. It's not needed to make the book. It's a selling cost. It's a delivery cost. Is it needed to make the book? Make? No.
No.
Not needed to make? Period. If needed to make, yes, it's a product cost. Let's understand the following with a quick example. Which is the best food in the world? Without a doubt.
Biryani.
Kebabs and biryanis. Yes, of course. Kebabs and biryanis. What happens is when you get a nice juicy piece of meat in the biryani, you leave the rice aside and you gobble the mutton off. You gobble the piece off. So you need to add more to the rice to make sure that you're finishing the rice. You need kebabs for that, right? So kebabs and biryanis are the most delicious food in the world. Very simple. Very simple. Right? They can be vegetarian kebabs, they can be non-vegetarian kebabs, they can be vegan kebabs. It's available the way you like it. Okay? So let's not get into that debate. The kebab, the rice, the oil, spice, salt, right? All of this. What is this? These are product
Direct.
costs. These are product costs. The container in which you pack it, again product costs. Can you deliver it without that? No. Can you say that your biryani is ready if you have to deliver it? If it's a parcel, can you say it is ready without the box? No, you can't. But you are marketing on Zomato. You are marketing on Zomato. Is this marketing needed to make it?
No, indirect.
No, it is not. Therefore, it is called as a period cost. What about all of these guys? All of these guys are product costs. All of these guys are product costs. When Bloomsbury publication was releasing Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows, right? Imagine the amount of packaging costs that they had to go through to make sure that the book is going from various logistical nodules across the world where they had to ensure that people were getting it. It is one of the most highly published books in the world at that point in time. Right? So it came to you in a packing. It came to you in a packing, right? Those packing costs, are they needed to complete the book? No, they are not. The book, the manuscript by rolling, the paper, the ink and the design. That's about it. That's about it. What is the book's manuscript cost? The paper, the ink and the design. They are product costs. What about the wrapping paper, the saran wrap or the containers in which the books were kept, which are waterproof and fireproof and this proof and that proof? What is that? That's your period cost. That's your period cost. But understand one thing. Under absorption costing, the product cost can be fixed as well as variable. Under absorption costing, the product cost can be what? It can be fixed as well as variable. You need to understand this concept. So under absorption costing, the product cost can be both fixed as well as variable. But now, if I was to talk about marginal costing, please understand first of all that marginal costing is used for internal reporting. It cannot be used for preparation of financial statements. It is a decision-making tool. It is a decision-making tool and not a reporting tool. Mr. Apex, why are you writing this? For a very, very simple reason. This question in many of your study materials like Gleim, Hock and Becker is an MCQ question. In Gleim, Hock and Becker, this is an MCQ question. Why are you writing the other paragraph? Because you will have to face off with essay questions. When you have to face off with essay questions, you will have to write sentences. I am just training your mind on the construction of sentences that you have to write in essay questions. My intelligence about the CMA exam has told me one thing. You fail because of two reasons. Either you fail because your concepts are horrible, you can't get into the essay type questions where you have to study again. No problem. Study again. Second, your concepts are very, very good, but you are focused only on theory and practical MCQs. You have not practiced writing paragraphs at all, typing paragraphs at all. So when you come to essay type questions, you are dumbfounded. You don't know how to answer the question. You just do the sum in that and you forget it. You move on. That is where you fail. There is a weighted marking. Between essay and MCQ. So these sentences that Apex is giving to you right now, they are for the purposes of your essay type questions. Please ensure that you are noting them down over the speech of this little soliloquy that I pulled off. Now, marginal costing says only one thing. If it is variable cost of production, it is a product cost. Everything else is a period cost. Please keep this much in mind. So, if I was to say direct material, indirect labor, factory machinery, depreciation, direct labor, direct material, product, indirect labor, it is not necessarily variable, period. Factory machine depreciation, period. Why not variable? Direct labor, variable, product. But then what about items like sales commission? That is so as it is, period only. Why? Because only variable cost of what? Production is a product cost. Variable cost of production. Put it in your head. Variable cost of what? Production is a product cost. Everything else is a period cost. I hope you understand the concept. Everybody in the meeting, give me a thumbs up. If you do, I wait for your thumbs ups. Which also happens to be my favorite cold drink. Yeah, Realme 10, you are raising your hand. You have a doubt? Please unmute and ask. If you have understood, give me a thumbs up. If you have a doubt, please unmute and ask. Feel free to ask anything that you want to ask. Feel free. You can talk about anything related to costing. Huh? Start talking about England's latest test match victory. I don't want to talk about it. Right, guys? Right. I'm getting various thumbs ups. Very good. Now, use your logic and tell me Which one of the items is not a manufacturing cost? What is the manufacturing cost? The cost to make the product. Cream for an ice cream maker. This is nothing but direct material. It is a manufacturing cost. It is a manufacturing cost. Sales commission for a car manufacturer. This is a sales cost. This is a sales cost. It is not manufacturing. It is not manufacturing. Not. So this is your answer. Property taxes of plant. Of plant. There is a building, a huge plant. For that, he is paying property taxes. My dear friends, are these property taxes connected to manufacturing? Yes, of course they are. They are connected to the manufacturing facility. Without paying these taxes, you cannot manufacture. You cannot use the manufacturing facility. They are. Therefore, they are manufacturing, even if they are fixed in nature. They are fixed, they are manufacturing. This is variable, still it is manufacturing. Tires for an automobile manufacturer. This is as good as a raw material for him. This is as good as a raw material for him. But it could be various finished goods compiled together to make a ultimate finished good, whatever. Ultimate finished good, such things don't exist. It's just a stupid thing I just said for you to understand it. It's a type of an inventory. It's a type of a material that is needed to make a car. Imagine a car without tires. I can't. God bless you if you can. So tires for an automobile manufacturer are again variable in nature and they are needed for manufacturing. Without the tires, the car is not complete. So in this case, which is not considered to be a manufacturing cost? Sales commission, because sales commission is concerned with sales. It is concerned with sales and not the primary act of manufacture and not the primary act of manufacture. I hope this is clear. I hope this is amply clear in your mind. I hope this is amply clear in your mind. Give me a thumbs up. Give me a thumbs up. Yes, you're right, Mr. Khan. The answer is B. Give me a thumbs up for all those of you who understand. Give me a thumbs up for all those of you who understand. Thank you very much for your responses. I can see that and I can move ahead. You will say these are simple questions. I can't help it if they are simple. They are part of your exam package. Feel good if they are simple. Smile if they are simple. Right? Next. Tyler Corporation is determining the cost behavior of several items in order to budget for the upcoming year. Upcoming year it's coming. Okay. It has to budget for the upcoming year. The past trends have indicated the following dollars were spent at 3 different levels. Those cost 3 different levels of what? At 3 different levels of activity, at 3 different levels of output, 3 different levels of activity. What are they? Level 1, level 2, level 3. Please notice that you are supposed to pinpoint right here. You are supposed to pinpoint right here whether or not it is variable, fixed, or semi-variable. Now, I am going to teach you in 2 ways. The first is the exam-friendly way, which you need to pass in the exam. And the second is the in-depth Apex way to ensure that the conceptual clarity is there. First, I am going to focus only on the exam way. Only focusing on the exam way. Please pay attention. Please pay attention. Now, take a look at your cost A. 10,000 units, 25. 12,000 units, 29. 15,000 units, 35. First of all, I know one thing, that this cost is not fixed. Why it is not fixed? Because the amount is not staying fixed. The amount is not staying fixed. Second. Let's see if it is variable. What is per unit? 25,000 for 10,000 units. How much for 1 unit? 25,000 for 10,000 units. How much for 1 unit? So, what is your answer? 25,000 divided by 10,000. Here it comes to 2.5. 29,000 divided by 12,000. Here it comes to 2.4167. 35,000 divided by 15,000. Here it comes to 2.33. Here it comes to what? 2.33. So it is not fixed. It is not variable. Obviously, it is a semi-variable cost. Second, understand one thing about a fixed cost. This one thing has 3 aspects to it. First aspect, it is fixed on a total basis. It is fixed on a total basis. It is variable on a per unit basis. And it is fixed only within a given or defined range of activity. What? A defined range. What is a range? A range is, doesn't matter whether you are making 12, doesn't matter whether you are making 15, your cost will continue to be 15,000. This is a fixed cost. What is this? This is a fixed cost. Stays fixed in a particular range. It's a fixed cost. Let's take a look at this cost. 15,000 divided by 10,000, 1.5. 18 divided by 12, I know is 1.5. And I know the table of 15. 15s are 225. So 22,500 divided by 15,000 is again 1.5. This is a variable cost because it is fixed per unit. Because it is fixed per unit. Because it is fixed per unit. So first cost, semi-variable cost. Second cost, fixed cost. Third cost, variable cost. The answer is option number A. Everything else is wrong. This was your examination-centric way of looking at it and answering. But if I am honest, I have to ask you, what is the breakup of fixed cost and variable cost for cost A? What is the breakup of fixed cost and variable cost for cost A? Are you with me on that? What is the breakup of fixed cost and variable cost for cost A? Understand one thing. What is the high-low that I go for? Okay, this now I'm rubbing. I will be extremely happy if you have taken out the time and copied this chart. If not, I will be even happy if you have taken a screenshot of this, because I want you to have this chart. This kind of a chart is not available in any study material. They give you boring theory, and to pass the exam, you need to have charts. You need to have charts. Please keep that much in mind. You need to have charts. Please keep this much in mind. That is your chart. Yes, Apex 25, you have a question? Please ask. Go on.
Sir, so for 15,000, 10,000 units also in cost B should be 15,000, no? If it's a fixed
For which
cost.
one? B.
For
You are
cost
saying
B.
that for 10,000 also
Yeah.
you should have 15,000. Very good.
Yeah.
Which shows that this point you have to understand again, my dear lady. What did I say? Moharma, it's a range.
Beginner.
Let us say that your range is 0 to 10,000 and it is 10,001 to 20,000. In this range, it will stay fixed at how much? 10,000. But for the 10,000 and first unit, what it will become? It will now become 15,000. So does this range contain how many units? Does it contain 12,000 and 15,000 units?
Yes.
Does it? Yes.
Yes.
So it is constant for these two ranges of activities. That is why it is fixed. That is why it is fixed. As I said, it is fixed only within a given or a defined range. So for
Understood.
the range that covers 12,000 to 15,000, it stays fixed. Are you with me on that? Yes or no?
Yes, sir, understood. Thank you.
Understood? Perfect. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Super. Super. Now, I need to know the breakup for cost A. I need to know the breakup for cost A. High cost minus low cost divided by high units minus, ऐसा नहीं लिखते, I had written it in a different way. Cost high minus cost low divided by units high minus units low. Right? So, what is cost high? 35,000. What is cost low? 25,000. What is units high? 15,000. What is units low? 10,000. So what does this come to? This comes to 35,000 minus 25,000 divided by 5,000. It comes to 2 per unit. What is 2 per unit? It's your variable cost. So let's take a look at this. 10,000 multiplied by 2. What is this? 20,000. This is your variable cost. plus fixed cost is equal to how much? 25,000. Fixed cost is nothing but 5,000. What is fixed cost? It is nothing but 5,000. I hope you understand this concept. So fixed cost will be 5,000 here, here, as well as over here. I hope you are with me on this. I hope you are with me on this. I hope you are with me on this. C is the wrong answer. C is the wrong answer. Who has given the answer C? Realme 10, your answer is wrong. Apex 25, your answer is wrong. But I hope you have understood my explanation. I hope you have understood my explanation. Don't be confused. Don't be confused and don't feel bad that I'm saying that your answer is wrong. Over here, make as many mistakes as you want. You are not being judged. Your day of judgment is the exam. Over there, you have to be perfect. You have to be perfect. Are you understanding what I'm trying to say? I hope so. I'm rubbing this off. I hope so. I'm rubbing this off. You will say that we are solving very, very slowly. I know. But we are doing it once in a way that you will not have to do it again ever. Agreed? When you see this again after 1 month also, will this stay fresh in your mind? Yes or no? You tell me that. Give me a thumbs up if you agree with my statement. Will this
Yes,
stay fresh
sir.
in your mind after a month also? It
Yes.
has to. It has to for the depth of the explanation. What do you have to do? Just 2x speed. Sir, I am a working professional. You are a working professional? You work? Yes, sir. Do you use YouTube? Yes, sir. Do you know on YouTube, if you take YouTube Premium for a period of 2 months of your exams, what will happen? Sir, I will be allowed to download the videos. Yes or no? Yes. I will save my data cost. Sir, I am traveling when I go to work. I travel 1 hour one way. Sit in your mode of public transport and listen to Apex Academics videos. Sir, what will happen if I do that? You will get a revision without having to open your books because your books are right here in front of you. Are you understanding what we are achieving for you? Just download and watch. If you download and watch, now you won't even need data. Are you understanding? Yes or no? But sir, I drive. Then take a train, a cab, or a bus to work for 2 months if your exam is in October. But make sure that you are listening to these videos at 2x speed in your course of travel. I promise you, as you travel, you will revise. As you are coming back, you will revise. Please understand this much. This will be a way to help you out. Number 4. Which one of the following refers to a cost that remains the same as the volume of activity decreases within the relevant range? So cost that remains the same. Cost that remains the same. So the volume of activity decreases within the relevant range. My dear friends, a cost that remains the same. Average cost per unit, variable cost per unit, unit fixed cost. Please understand one thing. Total variable cost. Please understand one thing. Variable cost per unit always fixed. Unit fixed cost, that is fixed cost per unit. This is variable cost per unit and this is fixed cost per unit. What is unit fixed cost? Always variable. Always variable. Total variable cost. Always variable. Why? Because today it's for 10,000 units, tomorrow it's for 15,000. What about average cost per unit? You conveniently left it out. I did not. Average cost per unit is also variable in nature. It's also variable in nature. Why? You make more units, your cost will increase. You divide it, the total answer keeps on changing. So what is fixed that it remains same as the volume of activity decreases? 10,000 units I make. My cost per unit is 2. Cost per unit is 2. What will be my cost? 20,000. 5,000 I make. What is my cost? 10,000. Okay. 1 unit I make. What is my cost? 2. It is staying fixed everywhere at the rate of 2 per unit. It is staying fixed everywhere at the rate of 2 per unit. I hope this is clear. I hope this is clear as far as you are concerned. I hope this is clear as far as you are concerned. The answer is, what remains the same is variable cost per unit. It is variable cost per unit. Thank you so much. I hope you understood. Please take a screenshot of this. Take a screenshot of this. This is going to be very, very useful. I go to the next question. I don't have to wait for you. It will come on YouTube. At that time, you can also pause it and take a screenshot, boss. Don't worry about it. Oh, sorry. Fowler provides the following summary of its total budgeted production cost at 3 production levels: 1,000, 1,500, 2,000. There are 4 costs. What is the behavior of each of the costs A through D? Means A to D. What is the behavior? Again, as I said, let us look for a cost that stays fixed at every level of activity. Is there a cost that stays fixed at every level of activities? Voila, here it is. Here it is. What is this? Fixed cost. What is it? Fixed cost. Why? It is staying unchanged at any level of activity. Now understand, the third option for you has to be fixed in your model, answer. Now one second. One second. I'm just rubbing this. Why? Let me bring this up for you. Now understand. The third one, your third alternative has to stay fixed. Is it fixed everywhere? Fixed, 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 fixed. Very tricky of your institute. They have made sure that if you are basing your answer only on C, you will be confused. Okay. Now let's base the answer. Let's base the answer on A. A seems interesting. I'll tell you why. 1420 divided by 1000. What is your answer? Per unit 1.42. 2130 divided by 1500 per unit 1.42. My dear friends. 2840 divided by 2000 per unit 1.42. It is fixed on per unit basis. It is fixed on a per unit basis. Therefore, it is variable. Now, the first option is automatically eliminated. Why? Because they are saying semi-variable. But all these guys are correct as far as the first cost A is concerned. So A is a variable cost, C is a fixed cost. Now let's look at cost B. Cost B, I can see some different answers. I can see fixed over here. First of all, is cost B fixed? Cost B is not fixed. So automatically C is eliminated. My dear students, have I made any serious calculations? Have I written down large calculations like this
No.
on your screen? Have I written some rubbish like this?
No.
Have I written something like this? Have I written all this? No, right? I'm not writing any big ass formulas. No. Common sense. Common sense. Allah has given us a lot of common sense. Use it. I used it. A and C are out. B and D now. B and D now. B and D now. Please pay attention. Now B and D, let us check what kind of cost they are. 1550 divided by 1000. What is your answer? 1.55. 1.55. 2200 divided by 1500. What is the answer? 1.47. 1.467. 2900 divided by 2000. What is your answer? 1.45. 1.45. What is this? This is neither fixed on a per unit basis. Focus on this. It is neither fixed on per unit basis nor fixed on total basis. It is semi-variable. It is semi-variable. What is it? It is a semi-variable cost. Both are correct. Both are correct. It is a semi-variable cost. Now, cost D will determine whether or not what is the answer. Now, cost D. 1630 divided by 1000. What is your answer? 1.63. 2445 divided by 1500. What is the answer? 1.63. 3260 divided by 2000. What is the answer? Again 1.63. What is this? It is fixed on a per unit basis. Therefore, it is a variable cost. And option number B also falls. And your answer is option number D. Your answer is option number D. My success will be everybody saying D. Everybody is saying D. Alhamdulillah. Everybody is saying D. You have understood. You have understood. You have understood. 5 marks are in your pocket. You have understood. You have understood. How do I revise this, sir? How do I revise this? Sit. Watch. Sit. Watch. Fast. What speed? 1.75 to 2x. Thada, thad. Watch like a machine gun fire. Will I remember it? Yes. Watch every alternative day. How? By a certain period of time, you will have certain number of recordings on YouTube. I want to revise. I want to revise unit number 4 in 2 hours. Put on the recording, watch it, finish it. In 2 hours. Nobody, no service provider in the market can give it to you. Believe me, they can't. And you know it. Right? For anybody who needs to take a screenshot, here it is. Otherwise, rely on YouTube. Right? Let's go ahead. Roberta Johnson is the manager of Sleepwell Inn, which is one of a chain of motels located throughout the United States. An example of an operating cost of operations, that is semi-variable. That is semi-variable. It has elements of both fixed as well as variable cost in it. Always remember, any utility bill, gas,
Semi-variable.
water, yes, electricity, the semi-variable. Security guard salary, fixed. Electricity, utility, semi-variable. Postage for reservation confirmations. Number of confirmations go up, the postage cost goes up. So this can be a variable cost. Yellow pages advertising, fixed. For one advertisement, for that much time, you have to pay that much money. That much. What is semi-variable over here? Electricity. Can the motel operate? Can this motel means a type of hotel, can it operate without electricity? It cannot. What is electricity? Sir, it's a semi-variable cost, of course, of operations. Of course, of what? Of operations. I hope you're with me on that. I hope you're with me on that. I hope you're with me on that. Everybody has understood. Very good. Very good.
Yes, sir.
Let's go ahead. Let's go ahead. Nice question. Nice question. Focus. Nice question. Focus. Now, let me share something with you. Let me share something with you. Well, there is a product that I have to make. There is a product that I have to make. This product requires materials. Fair enough. It requires materials. Fair enough. Variable. Why? Higher the production, higher the cost. Fair point. This product requires me to pay a commission of 4% per sale to the salesman, of 4% per sale to the salesman. Are you with me on that? Are you with me on that? 4% per sales to the salesman. So higher the number of sales, higher is the commission. Again, what is it? It is variable in nature. Now, this product requires me to go to a few of my engineers. I have an engineer, Mr. A. I tell him, you work for 80% of your time on this product. The other 20%, you do your other activities
80% is fixed.
as planned. Now, Mr. A tells me one thing. He says to me, whether you make this product or you don't, my whole salary
Fixed.
better come to me, or else am I gonna quit. I'm gonna quit. I'm gonna quit. I'm gonna leave you. I'm gonna join some other company. I don't wanna work with you, yo. You gotta pay me my whole salary. It's a fixed year. Period. Whether you make this product or you don't make this product, you have to pay engineer A. Doesn't matter if he's giving 80% time, 20% time, 100% time. Internal resources time dedicated to the product is always going to be fixed. It's always going to be fixed. Please keep that much in mind. I hope you're with me on that. I hope you're with me on that. I hope there are
Yes,
no
sir.
doubts with respect to that. I hope there are no doubts with respect to that. Then I need an external expert. I need an external expert for the product. This external expert will work for 20 hours. Look, the external expert will tell you 20 hours. External expert's work is going to depend on, his quotation. It's going to depend on his or her quotation or whatever it is. It's going to depend on his or her quotation or whatever it is. So while that happens, it has to be understood. It has to be appreciated. It has to be understood. It has to be appreciated that an external cost is also going to stay a fixed cost of sorts as far as we are concerned. As far as we are concerned. Are you with me on that? Are you with me on that? Yes or no?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I hope that point has been clarified as far as you are concerned. Right? Let's go ahead. Now, oh, I'm so sorry. Anybody wants, they can take a screenshot. Otherwise, you can pause the video and watch it. Now, let's go ahead. Let's come here. Let's refer to this question. The marketing manager of Ames company has learned the following about a new product that is being introduced by Ames. A new product is being introduced. Sales of this product are planned at $100,000 for the first year. Sales commission expense is 8% of sales plus marketing manager's incentive budgeted at an additional 0.5%. The preparation will require 20 hours of marketing salaried staff time. Whether you put 20 hours or you put 100 hours, you have to give that staff his whole salary. You have to give that staff his whole salary. You are not going to say, Arey, no, you are making this, you are making that, I will do nothing to him. You have to pay him his whole salary. You have to pay him his whole salary. If you are paying him his whole salary, this is obviously fixed. Right? They have given you this only to confuse you, only to make you believe that it is going to be 20 multiplied by 100 per hour, it's going to be 100 per hour and 10 multiplied by 150 per hour outside Illustrator. No, this rate is fixed when the contract is agreed upon. This rate cannot vary after that. This rate cannot vary after that. Please keep that much in mind. Are you with me on that? I hope you are. While I say this, so what are they asking you? The variable marketing cost will only be 8,500. Why? Because it is only the commission that stands variable. Others are all fixed. What about the others? Others
Fixed.
are all fixed. I hope this point comes to you clearly. Right? I would also like to bring to your notice and attention that there are 113 MCQs. We have to do all of them. Not a single one we are going to leave out in discussion. So we will need a total of 3 to 4. We'll need a total of 3 to 4 lectures for those 113 MCQs. So the way I've planned your entire, what is that called? Syllabus is that for roughly for about 5 units, which we are going to do. Unit number 6 is a dry theory unit. I see no merit in discussing it on a free lecture. For the 5 units that we have to do, we will need about 3 to 4 days. So we are talking about 15 to 18 days for completion of our total discussion in our CMA course. Yeah, you have a question. 25.
Sir, how did you identify the salaries is fixed?
I'm sorry.
How did you identify that the salary of marketing is fixed?
Because whether you work on this brochure or you don't work on this brochure, you have to pay the marketing fellow his salary. As I said
Yes.
earlier, that engineer is there. That engineer, remember I told you about that engineer. I said, whether you are making me work for 80 hours on the product or 100 hours, I'm gonna quit if you don't pay my salary. You
Yes.
remember
Fixed.
that? Yes or no?
Yes, sir, yes.
That is why it is fixed. You have to pay him. Otherwise, he will leave. He will say, it's your problem, boss. You are making me work 20 hours on this brochure. You are making me work 30 hours on that. That's your lookout, not my problem. You have to pay me for the whole month. Yes or no? Please tell me that.
Yes, sir.
Agreed? Agreed?
Yes, sir.
Thumbs up? Thumbs up. Right? So 15 to 18 days, the way I see it, I should be able to do your course completion in the month of August. So the month of August, it is going to be a continuous kind of revision for your CMA part 1 for the upcoming window. Are you with me on that? Yes or no? Please tell me that.
Yes, sir.
Yes or no? Please tell me that. This bit of my lecture is called shameless marketing. I have to do it. I have to do it because I have to be fair to the business as well. 2 things. First, subscribe if you have not subscribed. It's free. The more the number of subscribers, the more the number of people I can reach out. Second, you might know a lot of people who are doing CMA or they are planning on doing CMA. CMA is easy. CMA is achievable. If they are your friends, take Apex to your friends. Take Apex to your friends. And your friends also, if they are appearing in this particular window, if they require complete explanations, I know you don't require complete explanations, but for anybody who does, we have the availability of that facility as well. So I require you to know that. Also, some of your lectures that are going to be pre-recorded and short, where you will not be attending the lectures, where you will just be listening to the discussion of the MCQs, which I will be doing. So you might not have to come on that particular day. You will just get 2 videos to watch. Now you will get 2 videos to watch. You are watching it in 2 years or you are watching it in 2 hours. That's your decision. I hope you understand that. I hope you're comfortable with this idea. But I want my students on the 5th of September, they have to write a mock. Or they have to say that we are ready to write a mock. Why? Because their exams are 15th of October or afterwards. So 5th of September to 5th of October, what are they going to do? They are just going to write mocks, revise, mock, revise, mock, revise, mock, revise. 4 mocks. And then they will just do final revision for about 1 week. And then 15th October onwards, they will go for exam. Book your exam slots for after 15th of October. A good day to give an exam is 26th of October. A good day. What about Jan, Feb attempt students? You have got these videos. You will watch them. You will have lesser time. Why? Because you have office. Your mocks will commence in the month of November onwards. You will also get 4 mocks. I will not leave you. Don't think I will leave you. I will not leave you. You will get 4 mocks. You will give them in November and December. And then you will go for your exam in January. I hope that is clear. I will not leave you. Apex will not leave you. You don't leave Apex. Keep that much in mind. Help will present itself for those who are asking for it. That is the rule. And it will come. Believe me, it always comes. Are you with me on that? Yes or no? Please tell me that. Thumbs up. Thumbs up, whoever that question is. Yes or no? Fair enough. Pepsi. Sure, why not? Whatever floats your boat. Indirect costs and common costs often make up a significant portion of the cost of a product. Fair point. All of the following are reasons for indirect cost allocation to cost objects except, please understand one thing. Please understand one thing. Please understand one thing. Let's take an example. Let's take an example of let's say an iPhone. This iPhone in itself will have or iPhone is a wrong way to put it. Let's say iPhone. Let's say iPad. What is the laptop called? The Apple laptop. What do you call it? MacBook. And what else do they have? iPad, iPhone, and I think they have a watch also. I don't know if it's called iWatch or Apple Watch. I don't know. I don't know what it's called because I don't use it. So I sincerely don't know these things. Forgive me. I don't know. So whatever that is, these are 4 products that they have. Each product requires the following: packaging, delivery, after sale service, marketing, and updates. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They are needed everywhere. For MacBook also 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. For iWatch also 1, 3, 5. All these 5 you need. My dear friends, these are all period cost. They are not necessary for the purposes of production. They are all period cost. If we use a disciplined method, which scientifically and logically apportions / allocates these, meaning such costs, to the products or the departments based on the cost drivers, we are using activity-based costing. What are we using? Activity-based costing. Pushkar, why did you write down such a large sentence? Why, sir? Why? Essay question. I want you to score full in essay question. Activity-based costing will certainly come in your exams. Otherwise, the sun will not rise in the east. Come to me and tell me not a single question on activity-based costing was there. I won't believe you. I won't believe you. Even if you're telling the truth, I won't believe you. It's that important a concept. So you are going to find it either in essay or you will find it in MCQ. So I know MCQs will manage because you will get the video. But here also, essay questions are not there. So I have to give you essay inputs. This is the essay input. I hope you are understanding that. Now, what will happen because of this? Obviously, the cost will get allocated. So what will happen? The cost on a total basis of the product or the segment will increase. This is not a benefit. Everybody, your Pepsis and Thumbs Ups or your Coca-Colas and your Sprites and your Mirindas, for your understanding. Thumbs ups, please. Thumbs ups that you have understood. Everybody. What about you? Realme 10, Oppo, Samsung 22. Have you understood? Yes or no? Have you understood? Yes or no? Everyone? Yes or no? Fantastic. Continue our session. But sir, why did you give us such an example? For you to better appreciate this question. For you to better appreciate this question. What does this question say? It says, indirect and common costs often make up a significant portion of the cost of the product, which is true. All of the following reasons for indirect cost allocation to the cost objects, all of the following are reasons except to reduce the total cost identified. No. Indirect cost allocation is aimed at ensuring accurate cost allocation, and this will or may result in a few product costs rising and a few product costs falling. Will be discussed in ABC, activity based costing, when the MCQ comes. नहीं हो सकता. Cannot happen. It measures, all of the following are reasons. It measures the income and assets for external reporting. Yes, this is a benefit. And it must be done. It justifies the cost for reimbursement. Yes, of course. Again, it is a benefit. It will be done. Provides information for economic decision making. Informed decision making. This is a benefit and it will be done. So these guys are all reasons. This is not a reason. Reduction is not a reason. Reduction will not happen. What is your answer? Your answer is option number A. I hope you are with me on that. Please take a screenshot. And I hope this MCQ is zooped in your mind. Right? Thank you so much. Take a screenshot. Let us move on. Question number 9. Excuse me. Question number 9. The relevant range. What are we saying? The relevant range guys, 1 second, please. I need that ribbon. The relevant range refers to the activity levels. What does it? It refers to the activity levels over which relevant range. A range is such that some costs stay fixed for whatever level of activity within that particular range. Within that particular range. I hope you understand this concept. Next. In a range, cost cannot fluctuate. In a range, production cannot vary. It is for that range. It cannot be more or less. For example, if you are making 5,000 to 10,000 units, if you are making 5,000 to 10,000 units, this will hold true for 5,000 to 10,000. It cannot hold true for 12,000. It cannot hold true for 4,800. It has to be within that range. Cannot be more or less. Relevant costs are incurred refers to an activity level over which relevant costs are incurred. My dear friends, for production, activity level, everywhere relevant costs are incurred. Please understand that. A relevant range. What happens? This is also true. This is also true. But this is more logical, and it captures the golden concept of what fixed cost stays fixed over a range. Fixed cost stay fixed over a particular range. Cost relationships are held constant is your answer over here. I hope you have understood this. I hope you have understood this. Yes or no? Give me a thumbs up, please. If yes, and I move ahead. Give me a thumbs up, please. If yes, give me a thumbs up, please. If yes. One second. Which question was I doing? Did I do? 9 I did. Okay. Number 10. Number 10. Number 10. Cell company has discovered that the cost of processing customer invoices is strictly variable within a relevant range. Within a relevant range, it is strictly, what they are saying? Strictly variable. Okay. Which one of the following statements concerning the cost of processing the customer invoices is correct? Okay. The cost of processing customer invoice will increase as the volume of customer invoices increase. It is strictly variable. The cost per unit of customer invoices will decline as the volume of customer invoices increases. The cost of processing the 100th invoice will be the same as the cost of processing the first invoice. The average cost per unit of processing a customer invoice will equal the incremental cost of processing one more customer invoice. Let us discuss. What are they saying? It is variable. If it is variable, it will be fixed per unit. And variable on a total basis. It will be fixed per unit and variable on a total basis. The total cost of processing customer invoice will increase as the volume of invoices increases. Correct. Correct. If the variable cost per unit is 10, for 100 units, it will be how much? 1000. For 1000 units, it will be how much? 10,000, so on and so forth. The cost per unit for processing will decline. Cost per unit will decline. No. Cost per unit will be fixed. This is wrong statement. This is wrong statement. Third statement. Cost of processing 100th invoice will be the same as cost of processing first invoice. Yes. Because it's fixed per unit and just FYI, it will be same for even 2000th unit, cause fixed costs are variable costs are cause variable costs are cause variable costs are fixed per unit. Correct. Last, average cost per unit for processing a customer invoice will equal to the incremental cost of processing. Must there. Please pay attention. 1 unit cost 10. 2 unit cost 10. Average 10 divided by 1. 10 per unit. 2 units cost per unit is 10. So total cost 20. Average 10. Total cost unit 10. Average cost 10. 20 divided by 2. Okay. What is incremental cost? Additional cost of making that plus 1 unit. It is 10. Hence proved average cost is equal to incremental cost for variable cost. I am going to go to the notebook and show you this in much more depth. But I am telling you that this is correct. Now, why this is correct? Why this statement is a 1 in a million statement? Sir, why are you focusing on this statement? My dear student, any Tom, Dick and Harry can tell you that these first 3 ones are correct. But no Tom, Dick and Harry can easily point out the depth and gravitas of this particular statement. Gravitas! of this particular statement. What is the meaning of gravitas? Just Google it. Just Google it. Google it. And you will come to know what I'm talking about. Now, let's go to point number 80. Let's go to point number 80. Let us pay attention. Cost per unit is equal to 10. Units. Cost per unit. Total variable cost. Or over here, total cost only I'm taking. Why? Why total cost? Because it's fully variable. Because it's fully variable. Total cost. Average cost. Average cost will be total cost divided by unit. And incremental cost. One minus the other. I'll show you. 1 unit, cost per unit 10, total cost 10, average cost 10, incremental cost 10. The cost to produce one is 10. 2 units, cost per unit 10, total cost 20, average cost per unit 10, incremental cost. The difference between these two. How much did it take for you to make this plus 1 unit? 10. 3. Cost per unit 10, total cost 30, average cost 10, incremental cost 10. 4. 10 per unit, 40, 10, 10. 5 per unit, 10, 50, 10, 10. Tell me where you want me to stop. Huh? I can write like this till 25,000 also. It will stay the same. Here it can be observed that. Number 1, variable cost per unit stays a fixed per unit. Red dot. Second, incremental cost is equal to average cost for variable costs. It is proven. My dear students, is there anybody who has a doubt? Is there anybody who has a doubt? Is there anybody who has a doubt in this? Anybody who has a doubt in this? Yes or no, please tell me that. Yes or no, please tell me that. Doubts, please. Doubts, please. Doubts, please. Doubts, please. Doubts, doubts, doubts. Doubts. No doubts? Thumbs up if you have understood. 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 Yes?
Sir, I have a question.
Please ask.
Sir, is incremental rate is also comes under a range that to a particular range the incremental cost would be this much percent and no? Okay.
Incremental cost. I'll tell you what is incremental cost.
Yes.
Okay. Let us say you have a party. What do you have? A party. Okay. You are celebrating your professional success today. Congratulations. May you get more. You have booked a hall. You have booked a nice premises, a club or a hall or a nice place. And you have a caterer. Who has told you one thing. That for anybody who comes and has a meal over here, I will charge you per plate. And on a per plate basis, I will charge you 1,500 rupees. You say, okay, no problem. You are expecting 15 of your closest professional colleagues to arrive. So 15 of them arrive and you have to bear a cost of 1,500 per plate. What happens? You have to bear a cost of 22,500. I get the news that there is a free meal and I decide to go for the free meal. Unfortunately, you cannot refuse passage to me. Therefore, unwillingly, you welcome me. I say, very nice. We have come to eat, so we will eat. Suddenly, now you have 16 guests at 1,500 per unit. So 16 multiplied by 1,500, your cost has come to 24,000. For that one additional guest, how much did you pay? 1500. This is your incremental cost. This has nothing to do with a range or anything like that, right? It is fixed. Mostly it is variable cost. Depends, if there are economies of scale, it will reduce going forward. That depends, but we don't need to get into that discussion right now. What you are saying that it has to stay fixed or something, nothing like that. Please understand. Don't give it a fixed or a variable nature. Always understand, for that additional one guest, how much am I paying? Please understand. That is incremental cost. Are you understanding the concept? Yes or no? Please tell me that. Are you understanding the concept? Yes or no? Please tell me that. Yes? Super.
Yes, sir.
Can I go ahead?
Yes, sir.
तो सपोज 15 की जगह 14 लोग आए तो
फिर से दोहराइए प्लीज. पार्डन मी, एक्सक्यूज मी, आई बेग योर पार्डन.
तो सपोज 15 गेस्ट की जगह 14 आए तो
बिल्कुल 14 करके देखते.
नहीं तो मतलब वो जो मतलब एक बंदा कम आया ना तो फिर ये कौन सा कॉस्ट कराएगा मतलब
नो
ये
प्रॉब्लम, कमाने दीजिए, क्या फर्क पड़ता है. Let him come less. I am asking you what is incremental cost for that one additional unit. How much will it be? 1500. Always keep one thing in mind. Incremental cost is equal to total cost of 3 minus total cost of 2 units, which is the total cost of the third unit. I'll explain it in Hindi. 3 यूनिट के पैसे माइनस 2 यूनिट के पैसे इज इक्वल टू तीसरे यूनिट के पैसे. इज दिस क्लियर? 3 यूनिट, 3 units and third unit are not the same concept. 3 units means 1, 2, 3. Third unit means only this fellow. Are you with me? Yes or no? Third unit means only this fellow. Are you with me? This fellow's cost is your incremental cost. Clear? MRK, yes or no? Clear? Yes. Chalo, good. Clear hai na? Good. Actually, we should not say thumbs up, Coke. They are all opaque liquids. Coca-Cola also makes Sprite, and in India, the tagline for Sprite is Sprite clear hai, right? Sprite clear hai, right? So if the concept is clear, you should all say Sprite. It's the sad, poor joke of the day. A failed attempt at entertaining you. Let's go ahead. Question number 10 is done. We took a depth of discussing that. Now, good question. When identifying the fixed and the variable costs, which one of the following is a typical assumption concerning the cost behavior? Which one of the following is a typical assumption concerning the cost behavior? Cost behavior. General and administrative costs are assumed to be variable costs. No, they are not. They are generally assumed to be fixed. Cost behavior is assumed to be realistic for all levels of activity from 0 to maximum capacity. Okay. Total costs are assumed to be linear when plotted on a graph. Yes. Relevant time period. The answer is C, and it's going to take a good amount of time to explain this to you. The relevant time period is assumed to be 5 years. 5 years. Who said? For my business, it's 2 years. For some other business, it can be 40 years. For some other business, it can be 40 years. Other business can be 40 years. For some other business, it can be 2 years, 3 years, 10 years. My business, it can be 2 years. In 2 years, Apex Academics, inshallah, will have 6 strong batches of CMA appearing. 6 batches later, you're a seasoned player in the market. Agreed? Agreed? Yes or no? I need 2 years. You need 5 years. Sir, uska sabun slow hai. It's taking time. It's slow. Every business has its own nature. You can't make a general assumption like this. Typical assumption, straight true. They are rule of thumb everywhere. Your answer is total costs are assumed to be linear when they are plotted on a graph. How are you going to plot them on a graph? What I've tried to say is going to be a very important discussion for you to follow. I beg of you to pay attention to me. I beg of you to pay attention to me. My dear friends, now we are going into a little bit of, I don't know, you can say coordinate geometry. Please focus on what I'm trying to say. See, whenever the subject becomes mathematics related, maths related, I automatically become very, very happy because not many people know this about me. People always feel, I am a accountancy, financial management, costing. Inherently, the reason why I enjoy these things is they all have numbers. And my favorite subject was always mathematics. So whenever mathematics, I'm very happy. So I get this smile. Now pay attention. Total cost is equal to fixed cost plus variable cost. Total cost is equal to what? Fixed cost plus variable cost. Okay. Let's assume variable cost on a per unit basis is equal to 5 and your fixed cost is equal to let's take it what to take. So 5 I've taken, not 2, 4, 6, 8. Yeah, let us take it at 20,000. Let us take it at 20,000. Okay, now units 2,000, 4,000, 8,000, 10,000. Total variable cost 2,000 multiplied by 5, 4,000 multiplied by 5, 8,000 multiplied by 5, 10,000 multiplied by 5. Total fixed cost everywhere. Total cost 30, 40, 60, 70. For the sake of conceptual clarity, I am going to show you 3 graphs. Actually, you need only one. Please pay attention. Now, see, sorry, you have to excuse me. Lines will not be perfectly straight. Huh? You have to forgive me for that. Units, cost. Okay, units and cost. Now pay attention. Total cost 30, oh, no, 1 second. Total cost. This is what cost. Now, at 2,000 units, at 4,000 units, at 8,000 units, and at 10,000 units. At all these levels, what is your fixed cost staying constant at? For 2, it is how much? Let's assume it is 15,000 here. I've plotted 15,000. For 2, it is how much? 15,000. For 4, it is how much? 15,000. 8, how much? 15,000. 10, how much? 15,000. Total fixed cost. Agreed or disagreed? Agreed or disagreed? Please tell me. Agreed? Give me a thumbs up if you agree that that is the total fixed cost. It will stay 15,000 for everything. Oh, I'm sorry. It has to be 20,000. I beg pardon. It will be 20,000. It will be 20,000 everywhere. How much? That's your total fixed cost. For 2000, what is your total variable cost? Sorry, I made a small mistake. This has to be 10, this has to be 20, this has to be 40, and this has to be 50. This has to be how much? 50. So for 2000, it is how much? 10,000. For 4,000, it is how much? 20,000. For 8,000, how much? 40,000. For this, how much? 50,000. What is this? Total variable cost. What is this? Total variable cost. Now, finally, $2,000, $4,000, $8,000, $10,000. Just a second. $8,000. Okay, now 30, 40, 60, 70,000, 1,000, 1,000, 1,000. For 2,000, 30,000. For 4,000, 40,000. For 8,000, 60,000. And for 10,000, 70,000. Total variable cost plus total fixed cost is equal to total cost. Total variable cost plus total fixed cost is equal to what? Total cost. Please understand, is equal to what? Total cost. Please focus on what I'm trying to say. Please focus on what I'm trying to say next. I want everybody's attention. Please focus. Please focus. What is this? Any type of cost is a linear function. Whether it is total fixed cost, total variable cost, or total cost. Look at the resolve on my face. Any cost, any goddamn cost, it is a linear function. Simple, finished. Don't argue beyond that. I have proved it to you. Don't ask for a miracle. It has already been proven. Don't ask for a miracle. Don't say if this theory is true. This theory is true. It's in front of your eyes. Copy it down. Are you with me? Yes or no? Thumbs up, everybody. Thumbs up, everybody. Take a screenshot if you want. Take a screenshot if you want. Take a screenshot if you want. I would like to believe that there are no doubts. I would like to believe that there are no doubts in our discussion so far. There are no doubts in our discussion so far. So far, it is going good. So far, it is going good. Are you with me? Yes or no? Please tell me that. Are you with me? Yes or no? Please tell me that. So for this, what is the right one for this one? Typical assumption. Typical assumption. They're supposed to be linear. They're supposed to be what? They're supposed to be linear. Are you with me? Yes. Let's go ahead. Let's go ahead. LAR company found its total electricity cost at both a fixed component and a variable component within a relevant range. Fair enough. The variable component seems to vary directly with the number of units produced. Obviously, the more number of units you produce, the more the number of energy you are going to consume. Which one of the following statements concerning LAR's electricity cost is incorrect? Is incorrect. Be careful. One statement is wrong, other statements are correct. Total electricity cost will increase as production volume increases. Correct. Because it has a variable aspect. Because it has a variable aspect. Total electricity cost will increase as production volume increases. Total electricity cost per unit of production. Very interesting. Very interesting. Next, variable electricity cost will remain constant as the production volume increases. True, because variable electricity is fixed per unit. the fixed electricity cost will decline as the production volume increases. Absolutely true. Fixed costs tend to decline as the production volume increases. What are you saying? Do you remember my coaching classes example? Yes, sir, we do. Sir, you said that you have one student, you are paying 30,000 rent. Then you are saying that you have two students, you are paying 30,000 rent. Then you are saying that you have 30 students, you are still paying 30,000 rent. Now you have 60 students, you are still paying 30,000 rent. Now you have 100 students, still you are paying 30,000 rent. The rent per student in the first case is 30,000. The rent per student now becomes 15,000. The rent per student now has become 30,000 divided by 30 is how much? 10,000. Now here it is how much? 5,000. And now here it is how much? It is 300. It is 300. So as you can see, as the units went up, the fixed cost per unit went down. Fixed cost per unit will decline. The total cost per unit will increase. No, it will not increase. It will not increase. The total cost per unit, will show a declining trend because of fixed cost. It will show a declining trend. It will show a declining trend. Why, sir, it will show a declining trend? It will show a declining trend because the fixed cost per unit will keep on falling. Because the fixed cost per unit will keep on falling. So overall, it will show a declining trend. A, C and D are correct. B is wrong. B is wrong. B is wrong. Are you with me? Yes or no? Please tell me that. Are you with me? Yes or no? Please tell me that. Yes or no? Confirmations, please. Confirmations, please. Thumbs ups, confirmations. Yes or no? Yes, Realme 10, USA 24, MRK, Oppo. Are you there? Are you there? Samsung, yes. OnePlus 10 Pro, Apex 3. Are you there? Xiaomi, are you there? Looks like a cell phone mall. Yeah. Good. Hey, OnePlus
Sir.
10 Pro, I wanted to ask you. OnePlus 7 is in a totally bad shape. The display is as good as dead, right? So, is OnePlus 10 a good phone? Because I use OnePlus, I loved it. Bloody good phone. OnePlus 10, is it a good phone? If it is, I'll go for it. If it's a good phone, give me a thumbs up. I'll think about it. After a few months, I'll think about it. As long as I can pull this on. Right? Okay.
सर
Yes,
ये रॉन्ग कैसे एक बार फिर से समझाओ ना.
surely. Why not? Let's talk about a semi-variable cost. Let's say that variable cost per unit is 2 and fixed cost is equal to how much? 5,000. Are you with me on that? Okay. Units. Okay. Total variable cost. Okay. Total fixed cost. Total cost. Okay. 2,000. Total variable cost 4,000. Total fixed cost 5,000. Total cost 9,000. Cost per unit 9,000 divided by 2,000. Okay. 4.5. Okay. 4.5. Okay. 4,000. 4,000 into 2. 8,000. 5,000. What did I say? It will be decreasing. What did I say? It will be decreasing. Are you with me?
Yes,
My
sir.
dear friend. Are you with me? Cost per unit will be decreasing. Are you with me? Yes or no? My lord, I rest my case. The defense rests. The defense rests. My lord, I have proven to you that for a semi-variable cost, this total cost is a semi-variable cost in nature. As the production increases, the cost of production per unit will be decreasing. Will be decreasing. Are you with me? Yes or no? Are you with me? Yes or no? Give me a thumbs up. Give me a thumbs up. Everyone, everyone, not just the guy who has the doubt. All of you, do you understand this concept? This key concept? Yes or no? Please tell me. Yes or no? Right, guys? Right, guys? Superb, superb. Take a screenshot if you want. Otherwise, YouTube पे तो मिल ही जाएगा. Okay. So, what is wrong over here? Decreases. What happens to it? It decreases. It decreases. Are you with me on that? Okay. Okay. Okay.